Ito ang mainit na balita na dapat malaman at mapanood ng taong bayan at pinag-uusapan ngayon sa mundo ng social media na tila ayaw ipalabas ng bayarang media. Tunay na ibang klaseng magalit ang mga Pilipino lalo't kung hindi na raw makatao sa sarili nitong gobyerno. Sino nga ba ang wala sa tunay nitong kaisipan? Ang taong nagsisinungaling para pagtakpan ang ginawang mali ng pamahalaan o ang taong pilit na binabaluktot ang katotohanan. Tila ito ang matinding sigaw ng taong bayan sa gobyernong nagbagaw dahil sa di umano'y iligal na pag-aresto sa dating Pangulong Duterte para isuko sa dayuhang hukuman at tila sa pilitang dalhin sa ICC sa The Hague, Netherlands. Filipino politician at former senador na si Gringo Honasan tila binasag na ang katahimikan at tahasang nagsalita na sa publiko at matapang na nanindigan na nakikiisa na sa panawagan na dapat pabalikin na sa Pilipinas sa lalong madaling panahon ang dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Pero bago natin simulan ang balitang politika ngayon sa Pilipinas, kung ikaw ay bago pa lamang sa aming channel, ay please huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe at i-click ang notification bell. Huwag din kalimutang mag-like para mas maging updated ka panalo sa lahat pa ng bago naming mga upload. 2 linggo na ang lumipas mula ng tila sa pilitang dalhin ang dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa International Criminal Court o ICC sa The Hague, Netherlands. Isang hakbang di umano na tinuturing ng kanyang taga-suporta bilang pinakamalaking pagtataksil ng Administrasyong Marcos Jr. sa taong bayan. Ang galit ng publiko ay hindi na mapipigilan pa dahil ang kaisa-isang taong nagpatino at umayo sa bansa ang siya pang inuusig ngayon. Ang malala pa, hindi sa sarili niyang bansa siya nililitis kundi sa kamay ng mga dayuhang hukuman. Sa gitna ng mga kilos protesta at malawakang sigaw ng suporta, isang signature campaign ang inulunsad ng iba't ibang non-government organization upang kalampagin ang ICC at igiit ang agarang pagpapauwi sa dating Pangulong Duterte. At pangungunahan nito nila dating Senador Gringo Honasan at Congressman Rodante Marcoleta. Sa ilalim ng petisyong ito, lalagdaan ng libu-libong Pilipino ang panawagan nito upang ipakita sa buong mundo ang himig na hindi sila papayag at hindi sila magpapaloko. Sa pamamagitan ng signature drive na ito, formal na ipaparating sa ICC ang matinding sigaw ng sambayanang Pilipino na pabalikin na sa Pilipinas si dating Pangulong Duterte. Buwelta pa ng dating senador na si Gringo Honasan. First and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to the esteemed Mayor Baste Duterte for welcoming me here in the city of Davao. I have come to deliver my message of concern to former President Rodrigo Duterte, whom I serve as the ICT Secretary. I own a personal and significant debt of gratitude to the Duterte family who has been supportive of me since my senatorial run when he was the mayor of Davao City. Mayor Duterte is a fellow member in the Guardians Brotherhood, and beyond politics, we have maintained a strong friendship over the years. I am here not out of politics but as a Filipino who loves our country and believes in recognizing the sovereignty of our republic and protecting every Filipino from the interference of foreigners. The arrest of President Duterte to be taken to another country and tried under foreign law is a slap in the face in a betrayal of our nation's courts and laws. It is embarrassing for other countries and their citizens to know that we ourselves are turning our backs on our compatriot, our former president, and betraying him to the jurisdiction of the ICC, even though our courts are functioning and our laws are being upheld. Do we admit that we are failed state? Do we really believe that our judicial process is worthless and the laws of Republic of the Philippines are ineffective? Do we not fight vehemently for OFWs with cases or conviction in other countries to be brought back to the Philippines? Why then did we kidnap and transport President Duterte to be incarcerated and tried in a court that does not fall under our jurisdiction? The President is already in his 80s. Even if this were the only consideration, it does not make things harder for him. Many Filipinos, both here and abroad, are calling for the return of President Duterte to the Philippines. If there are charges to face, he should be tried in his own country. Many of us are eager to take action, to do what we can in the face of what we are dealing with. At this point, we will submit a petition to the ICC to bring President Duterte back to his home country, the Philippines. This petition is in accordance with the rules and regulation of the ICC, allowing the people to participate directly in the ongoing proceedings. We aim to gather as many signatures as possible and extend invitations to other organizations to join us in our effort to bring back former President Rodrigo Duterte and uphold the sovereignty of our laws, courts, and the dignity of the Filipino nation. Unquote. Kumilos na nga ang dating senador na si Gringo Honasan sa Liwasan Bonifacio sa Maynila para sa nais lumagda sa petisyon. Bukod dito, maaari ring lumagda online sa pamamagitan ng social media upang mas maraming Pilipino sa loob at sa labas ng bansa ang makiisa. Ayon kina Honasan at Marcoleta, may isang paraan lang para mapahupa ang matinding galit ng taong bayan. Ibalik si dating Pangulong Duterte sa Pilipinas dahil kung hindi kayang bigyan ng hustisya ang isang dating Pangulo, ay papaano pa kaya ang maliliit at mahihirap at mga ordinaryong Pilipino na wala man lang kalaban-laban?
Una, yung timeline pa lamang. So, umpisahan na lang natin yung timeline. Mabilis lang to sana, pero mahaba-haba kasi nag-uumpisa to sa March 2019 nung nag-withdraw ang Pilipinas sa Rome Statute. Tapos, yung prosecutor requested authorization 24 May 2021. May deferral noong 2022 ng Hunyo. Pagkatapos, 12 September 2022, ang ating Pangulo ay nagsabi, ICC will only take action when the country is no longer functioning and has no judiciary. So, 26 January 2023, ang ICC nag-umpisa na naman ang investigasyon sa drug war. And then the appeals chamber rejected the suspension noong Marso. And then July 5 ng 2023, ipinagtatanggol ni VP Sara yung confidential fund ng DepEd at ng OVP. Yung ICC chamber delivered its judgment 18 July 2023. Pero inulit na naman ni Presidente Bongbong 24 November ng 2023 na simple lang ang isyung yan, hindi naman siguro tama na ang tagalabas ang mag-iimbestiga dito sa atin. So yun ang nangyari, ano? Tapos gusto natin maintindihan yung konteksto ng mga pangyayari at nung 15 December 2023, andyan na yung sulat kay VP Sara na the jurisdiction of the ICC over the Republic of the Philippines after the effectivity of our withdrawal is very much in question, and I am certain that you and all of my cabinet will echo my views. Sabi rin niya, for the 100th time, I do not recognize the jurisdiction of the ICC in the Philippines. Noong 28 January 2024, kauna-unahang maisog rally at binanatan ni former President ang ating Pangulo Bongbong. Noong 29 January, kick-off rally ng Bagong Pilipinas, pero kasabay din ang candlelight prayer rally ni Presidente Duterte. 30 January 2024, eto na yung unang hearing ko sa PI, People's Initiative, February 2 sa Davao, 13 dito na naman, February sa Senado. And 20 February, si Pangulo ay nagsabi, I don't approve or deny it, but you know, the ICC haven't done anything illegal. Ito yung tinutukoy ni Secretary Boying na pagbabago. Once they do, we will do something about it, but we are an open country. 19-2024, June, VP resigns as DepEd Secretary. 20 July, maisog, rally liwasan. 16 August, first Quadcom in Bacolor, Pampanga. 22 September 2024, VP Sara says, hindi naman kasi kami talaga nag-uusap. Hindi kami magkaibigan unang-una. Ayun na. And then 12 October 2024, sabi ni PBBM, I don't know anymore. I'm a little dismayed to hear she doesn't think we are friends. 11 November 2024, nag-attend si former President Duterte ng 11th Quadcom hearing, 13 November 2024, E.S. Bersamin said local authorities would consider cooperating with the Interpol if the ICC seeks the intervention of the International Anti-Crime Body. 14 November 2024, nung nakaraang taon, ang sabi ng ating Pangulo, if that's the wish of Duterte, we will not block the ICC. We will not just cooperate. 28 November, first bicameral conference tungkol sa 2025 GAA, and the 2nd of December 2024, first formal impeachment case against VP Sara. 11 December, second bicam. 18 December, ang privilege speech ko at sumunod yung mga kaso. And 19 December, third impeachment complaint. 13 January 2025, itong taon na ito, INC Peace Rally in Manila. And 24 January, itong taon na to, Secretary of Justice Remulla said, the Marcos administration will sit down with the ICC and discuss certain areas of cooperation in the latter's investigation. He also said, cooperation with an international tribunal is permissible, noting that ICC representatives have already been going in and out of the country without us raising anything. So may admission po ron, and 28 January 2025, may mga na-declare the 2025 national budget unconstitutional. Nung 5 February nitong taong to, impeachment of VP Sara was approved in the House of Representatives. 10 February, the ICC prosecutor applied for an arrest warrant against former President Duterte. 22 February, People's Indignation Rally Mandaue, Cebu. 7 March, the warrant of arrest against the former president was issued as secret by the ICC chamber. 10 March, 2 PNP memos regarding the deployment of personnel and augmentation of PNP personnel to PRO 11. 11 March, the warrant of arrest was reclassified as public this time by ICC. 3:04 a.m., the Philippine Center on Transnational Crimes received an ICC request for the arrest and extradition of former President Duterte. At 9:20, he arrived at NAIA Terminal 3 from Hong Kong and was arrested at the Jet Bridge by DOJ, Interpol, and PNP with his Miranda rights postponed at his request. He then was taken to Villamor, where he was housed in Maharlika Hall with his family and some legal advisors. By 11 a.m., Malacanang confirmed his arrest, while his daughter Kitty live-streamed the event. By 11:03, Duterte was flown out of the country on a chartered flight to Dubai and Rotterdam, Netherlands, as President Marcos held a press briefing on the arrest. 12 March 2025, DOJ Prosecutor General Fadulion issued a certification, bago po to, nahanap lang namin to, that President Duterte was arrested on 12 March 2025, approximately 11:44 a.m. May problema ako sa datos nito kasi bakit 1 day later? The custodial state has determined to deliver Rodrigo Roa Duterte to the ICC in accordance with Article 59.4 of the Rome Statute. And in accordance with Article 59.7, the arrested individual shall be transported to The Hague and placed in the custody of the International Criminal Court. 13 March, during an interview with Pinky Webb, Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla revealed that Duterte's arrest was a group effort involving National Security Advisor Año, Defense Secretary Teodoro, the President, with Año playing a key intelligence role in monitoring Duterte's travel. On 20 March, we had the hearing here in the Senate. The highlights of the hearing were the denial of Año of any involvement in the arrest, and John Vic, SILG Remulyo denied planning and said that the group effort pertained only to chismis. PCTC said the Interpol issued a diffusion, not a red notice, and Justice Secretary Remulla claimed that ICC has jurisdiction over individuals and crimes despite the withdrawal of the Philippines from the Rome Statute because international humanitarian law is already customary law. Of course, we are all aware that this is not applicable, being solely limited to war crimes. In the meantime, PNP General claimed that in expediting President Duterte's turnover to the ICC, he was trying to comply with the time period set forth in Article 125 of the Revised Penal Code, which applies only to warrantless arrest. A 24 Horas report revealed that Philippine authorities had planned Duterte's arrest since January under Oplan Tugis by the PNP CIDG, and that Duterte sought asylum in China, but this was later denied by all parties. On the same day, DILG Secretary Remulla denied involvement in the arrest, stating he was unaware of any core group behind it and only learned of the Interpol red notice on the day of Duterte's detention. So as far as the investigation goes, this is the timeline, and we're happy to share it with you. In the meantime, I'd like to read the preliminary findings following last week's investigation and public hearing. Number one, the Philippines had no legal obligation to arrest former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte and turn him over to the International Criminal Court. What was received was only a diffusion notice, not verified or approved by the Interpol Secretariat. No verification by the Interpol whether the request complied with Article 3 of their Constitution, forbidding Interpol from undertaking any intervention or activities of a political, military, religious, or racial character. Under the terms of the diffusion notice, there was no obligation on the part of the Philippines to turn over former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte to the ICC, absent any request for extradition or request for surrender. Under Article 92 of the Rome Statute,